What is up? What is up? Gratitude, greetings to all of the divine feminists, my melanated goddesses out there, my non-melanated goddesses out there. I am happy to be back. Man, it's been a minute since I've been able to or had the energy, spiritual energy to do any kind of recordings, but while I've been gone, I've definitely stayed in connection in spirit and been communicating with the ancestors and communicating with the Great Mother. Have learned a lot, have a lot to share with you. You are tuning in to Sacred Empowerments of the Divine Feminine. And hold on, it's on my screen. I don't like that. Okay. And I'm just really excited about this season of growth in the platform. Our family is growing, our tribe is growing. We are strengthening and encouraging each other and keeping each other lifted up as we spiritually evolve. Everybody's on their journeys. It's really good to see. Yeah, but look, before I even get into what she has for me to tell y'all today, because it's a little bit of correction, some things she wants me to correct in our energies. Some of you probably are on the 8 ball, but some of you may not know this, and so we're going to talk about that. But before we do, let's handle a little business. All right, let's handle a little business. If you have not liked, subscribed, or hit the notification bell on this channel, and you are a divine, feminine, melanated, non-melanated, whichever one you fall in, please, 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 please go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of things coming. As long as I got that get up and go with me. Y'all know spirit will shut me down, and I have to take a period for myself, as we all should do. Okay. The mother is an advocate for rest, right? She advocates for us resting. And so that's what I do sometimes. So you want to hit the subscription button and you want to hit the notification bell. Okay. I am not a serial content. I'm not a content creator. Okay, I am a spiritualist, I am an occultist, I am a hoodoo, and I come on as spirit releases me and as I have the energy to do so. And so please hit the notification bell, hit the subscription button, and like the videos. And if you have any other divine feminines around you in your circle of influence that you think that this channel would be something they might need to tap into, please share it with them. We're growing every day. Our tribe is getting bigger, and that's a wonderful thing because we are here to support and empower each other. I am here to support and to empower through my life journey those of us who are also going through their spiritual evolution. um yeah, so we took care of that. All right, we took care of that. Please, if you also want to support the channel, you can either put it in the comments, respond in the comments. If you want to send any energies, any donations, anything to support the work that we're doing, put it in the comments, or you can email me at aseinstituteorg at gmail.com. The email will be at the bottom in the description of this video. It will be at the bottom of every video. And you can absolutely support. Also, if you want to contact me personally, you are welcome to contact me personally. Put it in the comments, or you can again email me at aseinstituteorg. Ashe without a H, ASE, org. Aseinstituteorg, ORG, at gmail.com if you need to reach out to me personally and are interested in any one-on-ones, which I do prefer to do because it allows me to really get to know everybody, and it allows me to really assist you in any area that you need strength in. Okay, so let me think, is there anything else I need to take care of? I think that's it. Please follow us on the social medias. Okay, I'm on TikTok. I have stripped my page down, so when you go on there right now, you might not see anything but snippets from this particular video here. We're rebuilding it, rebranding it, going through all of that. You can also follow me on Instagram. And you can follow me on Facebook. All of the platforms are Yaya the Spiritual Doula. And tap in with me, okay? Stay tapped in. Stay tapped in. Let's grow. Let's build. Let's keep each other encouraged. It's a lot going on in the world. It's a lot going on. I mean, it's a lot of information out there. Some of it is misleading. Some of it is not accurate. Some of it is accurate, but it is no longer, it is outdated. Let me say it like that. Some of it is accurate, but it's outdated. We have moved, or we are moving into a new era. And with new eras comes new laws, spiritual requirements, spiritual things that the mother desires from us. Some things, however, she's been informing me that we, in our awakening, in us coming back into ancient knowledge, ancient systems, spiritual systems, magic, spell work, getting a better understanding of what certain religions have taught us that no longer served us or never served us. We have somewhat thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Yes, there's some things we need to go back and retrieve that was taught to us through. Now y'all know that I am a ex-Christian pastor, preacher, evangelist, and so I was raised in the church. So a lot of things that I'm going to talk about when it comes to organized religion is going to be from that standpoint of Christianity, because that's what I was raised in. I don't know about the other religions. As much as I could study them intellectually, I've never been a Muslim, so I don't really know. But when it comes to Christianity, there are some things we've thrown out and that we need to go back and get, because she is wanting a more intimate relationship with those that have chosen to acknowledge her. And I used to say that those who, she wants a more intimate relationship with those of us who belong to her. But everything belongs to her, right? Everything under the sun, including the sun. So everything belongs to her. So that is not technically accurate for me to say that. However, there are chosen ones who she has just kind of refused to give up. There are some of us who she has chosen to refuse to let go of. And in that, a lot of us are coming out of organized religions. A lot of us are coming out of Christianity. Okay. I really would like to know from the melanated, non-melanated Muslim community, if there is an awakening happening in under their energies. I'm really curious. Because we have a lot of melanated women who are part of Islam. And even the non-melanated ones, you know what I mean? But in regards to the melanated, and I wish I knew more about it. If anybody wants to reach out to me and just kind of give me a little bit more information. I mean, I don't know how secretive, y'all are, whether y'all evangelize, and I say that loosely, whether y'all spread the news of Islam, I don't know. I know that a lot of melanated Muslim women are typically quiet and are taught to not say much. When it comes to their belief system, most of the times when you see anyone teaching or trying to call people to that particular faith system, is masculine, it's men. You typically don't see women. Women usually marry into it. Usually, or they're raised that way. But if they're not raised that way, they run across a fine Muslim man, and then all of a sudden they walking around and they Muslim all of a sudden. And I ain't knocking it, I'm just saying that's typically how I've seen it happen. Most women marry into it, and then they just kind of, it's not like they're on evangelistical field. I guess the only word I know to use it. You know what I'm saying? Evangelizing. You know. So if any woman, goddesses who want to, share with me a little bit more about the Muslim faith and what they believe, and we can parallel some things and probably help my perspective. I could read it out of a book, but I mean, hell, just because it's out of a book doesn't mean that it necessarily applies. I want to talk to someone who is in the faith so I can have a better understanding of it. But with all of that being said, when it comes to Christianity, a lot of us are coming out of Christianity as goddess energies. And I remember when I first came out, when I first started my spiritual journey, of course it happens in phases. You come out and you recognize that the scriptures is wrong, and you recognize things are wrong. You recognize Jesus didn't really exist. Nobody got on no cross for you. You recognize that things are just esoteric, the meanings of the scriptures esoterically. You start understanding things. But there is one particular train of thought that I have been hearing over and over and over since I started my spiritual evolution. And that is, we don't pray and we don't worship over here in spirituality, because, you are God, you are the goddess. So, yada, 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 yada. Well, that's not true. And this is per the mother. So this is the empowerment for today. The mother is telling me to admonish her daughters to return to the work of sacred intimacy with her. Okay, we are being asked to remember that the same energy that we gave God the Father, who is an entity and not God at all, right? The same wailing we did, the same crying out we did, the same love and admiration and reverence and time in prayer with him that we did. Now that we know that he is a man-made construct for control and slavery of the divine energies, now that we know that, and we are on the right side of the energy in relationship with the mother, she does not want us to abandon and abort the work of sacred intimacy with her. And she's being very specific with me when she talks to me about this. Because a lot of us, particularly the goddesses, we've gone back to our spell crafting. We've gone back to understanding that we can manipulate and manifest with the manipulation of matter. So a lot of you that are going to listen to this are witches. A lot of you that are going to listen to this are, oracles, prophetesses. A lot of you do a lot of hoodoo work. You might be into Wicca. You have your practice. But we need to understand, spell work is a form of ritual. And she's saying to me that we are over ritualizing the awakening that we're having. We're relying on rituals and not relying on relationship. And being good and disciplined at your rituals does not equate to being in a divine relationship. It does not. It is not the same. You can be highly disciplined at making sure your ancestors get their water, at pouring libation, at burning your incense, saging your house. You could be very disciplined at your manifestation work, your candle wax work, readings, tarot cards. Those are all tools to understand the realm and manipulate the realm that we are existing in. That is available to everybody. Okay? That is available to everybody. That is available to everybody, whether they're in relationship with the mother or not, because that is the energies that this realm is built upon. You can have a simple understanding of the energies. You can have an understanding of the elements. You can have an understanding atomically of how things manifest in the physical. You can have an understanding of the symbols and the symbology. You can have an understanding of all of that. There's Satanists that understand that, right? Christians understand that. They won't admit it, of course. They're not going to admit it, but they understand. They understand that, you know, um, because if they didn't, they wouldn't require baptism. They know that that's a spiritual bath. The hell, they wouldn't require the whole communion energy is a ritual. Church is a ritual. You come in service, everybody collects into the sanctuary, you go into prayer, somebody opens up the prayer, then you go into music and praise and worship, then the preacher take the flow, he goes into the offering. That's all. Every phase is a ritual that you do every time you come into the house of God. Like, it's all built upon ritual. It doesn't mean that they are in a relationship with the Most High, with the womb of creation. Okay. And she has given me the task of sounding the alarm to the divine feminines first, because we are first partakers. We are first partakers. Okay. We are the headship and the leadership of this planet. Yeah. Contrary to popular belief. And we have always been the headship and the leadership of this planet. That is, we didn't lose it. Only thing they did was try to pretend like it didn't exist, like the feminine headship doesn't exist. And some of us, I'm not knocking nobody. If you have male energy in your life and you have decided to surrender your whole life under submission to him and if you got a good king in your house, then yes, but it's not under the energy of submission. It's under the energy of you are leading him to be the great king that he is. Okay. Now, that's the correct way to look at it, but you could take that with a grain of salt and just continue to move how you move. It doesn't matter. You're a goddess, which means whether you are conscious of it or not, you are the one that establishes the order, both in the home, in the family, and in the world. Okay, so when she gives a message, this is why most of my platform is geared towards the goddesses. For one, because I am one. Secondly, because as a divine goddess and having the truth usurped and the power taken and stolen, right? I want to help my sisters to recognize what the hell's going on. This is a part of your spiritual journey, is taking back over the throne and sitting on it like you're supposed to. In order to do that, there's some things that has to be corrected. The mother, okay, is asking for more of a relationship. Relationships with divine or divinity, sovereign energy, is built in the heart space. Okay, heart chakra energy. All right, it's built there. You can be ritualized and not be in the heart space, connected to the womb of creation and to the Most High through relationship. There are a lot of us who have gone through a lot. We have experienced a lot. A lot of goddess energies are healing from trauma, past life trauma, the raping of our energies, the usurpation of our energies over generations, over millennials, right? That we are now the ones who need to step into the healing of that. See, before patriarchy came in, we occupied this planet as the paradise that it was. without going too much into all of that. And before the masculine energy manifested into the physical, we were here. And we lived in divine relationship, worship of the mother, worship. So when you coming into your journey, and now with all this information that's going on all over the internet about, oh, we don't worship over here because we recognize that there is no greater power than our own, that's nonsense. You are a reflection of the Most High, but you are a reflection. So you understand that in spirituality, or in spiritual mastery, self-mastery, you are independent yet codependent, because every energy in every realm and in every dimension has individuality. So we are codependent and we are a reflection. We are all tied to each other, but yet not to the point that we don't have independence of each other. Okay. And when you understand the balance of that, then you understand that though you are a reflection of the mother, there is still the mother independent of you. Because the true mark of divinity is self-reliance, right? But self-reliance is balanced with inter-reliance on the other selves. And I don't want to confuse it. Like, you're independent, but you're dependent. And so it is with you, so as it is above. Meaning there is a womb of creation that is independent of you, but yet you are a reflection of her. So although you may be a goddess in your right, there is still a mother energy that should be admired and revered as such. Okay? What we have to keep in mind is, as above, so below. You give birth to daughters, she look just like you. She act like you. She got your attitude. She has your smile, your beauty, your sweetness. But she's not you. She knows she look like you too. She look in the mirror and be like, damn, I look like my mama. People tell her all day, girl, you act just like your mama. She knows that, right? But she still reveres you as mama. Although she knows she came from you, she still reveres you as mother. Because like I always say, in the spiritual kingdoms of the mother, there is rank and order. This is why when we study the triple goddesses, we see them in a particular order, right? We see the older goddess, the middle-aged goddess, and then the young adult, young woman goddess. Okay? So she is wanting us to remember that she is mama. She is the mother. And she really wants more of an intimate conversation from the heart space. She wants you to come to her with your concerns, your joys, your pleasures, your pains. Everything doesn't have to be done through a ritual. And some of the rituals we are doing are outdated, which is why they don't work anymore. Okay? So what she's telling me to tell us, or to remind us as her immediate expressed emanation and reflection, is that she wants her honor back in its fullness, not just from, because the mother, you can intellectually understand that the mother was the mother, and all of these other energies weren't who they were, and you can know about Tiamat, and you can know about Lilith, and you can know about this and know about that, but are you yielding your heart space to her so that she can heal things that you have forgotten about? Or are you just going to continue in a cycle of dealing with past life trauma and past life karma and trying to move it with a candle and trying to clear it up with candles. Some of you spend so much on candles and salt and sage because you're not going about the process the more free spirited way, which is through relationships. Some of you just really need to get down on the ground on your knees and have a good cry before your mother. Some of you need to just lift your hands up to your mother. You did it to the entity that they told you was God, and he wasn't no God. You did it faithfully to him. What would make you think? What would make us think that she doesn't want her reverence? What would make us think that she doesn't want her reverence? We went into the church, they played the music, and we danced before an entity. We picked them up and put them down before an entity. And now we're on this side, and we won't put on music and just, I do, and most of us, a lot of goddesses do, but dance until you dance into spirit. Dance until spirit comes. Dance until. Not just dancing to be dancing. Not ritualized dancing. But heartfelt expression. I was watching, or I was reading about how, and I can't remember the book. It's in here somewhere. Let me try to remember the book. There's a book that I have where a woman, I think it's an older book, and I'll try to find it and bring it to the platform so y'all can maybe get y'all a copy and read it. I haven't read all of it, but it was very beautiful. In the first few chapters, she explained how her spiritual evolution took her to India. She's a melanated woman, but she went to India, East India. Well, India, whatever, shit. And she began to allow spirit to just kind of lead her, and it took her to India. And she's, it's a book about the divine feminine energy. It's called, anyway. And it took her to India. And while she was there, as, the mother was leading her through her different explorations and things like that, she ended up meeting an older temple goddess from the old school, from before patriarchy. She met a temple goddess, and the temple goddess took her to, the temple goddess that she met was not before patriarchy, but she served in the temples and stuff like that. And so, her mother, however, or her grandmother was still living and was at the house, kind of bedridden, old Indian woman. And she ended up going to the house with the Indian woman, and she got a chance to meet the elder temple goddess. And the elder temple goddess began to explain to her about the sacred dance, about the temple goddesses, and how they were basically shut down under patriarchy because there was so much power. The women had so much power. Now they offered sacred dance in the temple before the mother. Okay. And they also had, orgies, and they were sacred prostitutes. But it is not like the way we think of prostitution now. It wasn't like that then. It was all a part of sacred worship. Okay. And the young lady was explaining in the book how when she started to really study and spirit began to lead her to understand about the sacred women who worshiped and served in the temple of the divine, of the great mother, of the divine feminine, the difference in what it was then and how it is now. And now she's saying, the women there barely even want to talk about the old days because it's been so suppressed. They've been stamped out. A lot of them were even killed for being sacred prostitutes. See, patriarchy is the curse. I don't know if you know. Patriarchy is the curse, right? that this world had been under in the previous age. Because as divine specimens directly reflecting the divine mother, we are first partakers of the outpour of her spirit. Okay? We are first partakers, and then we issue out spirit to those who need it. And those who need it decided that they no longer wanted to come get it from us. So they erected their own deities, their own gods, and their own energies. And this is why I often talk about the usurpation of the throne of the mother. They usurped her throne, made themselves gods. Okay? Made themselves as if they were first in command. And this brings me to another part that she wants me to clear up. I also have been hearing that, God, first off, the term God is wrong. She's not a god. She gives birth to gods. So she is more than a god. We need to shift our vocabulary to match her energy, or else you're going to have a hard time having a conversation, because you're talking to somebody called God. Well, there are many gods. So who exactly are you talking to? When you say, oh, God gonna take care of me, who? Which one? Which one? Because you can't put the womb of creation in the rank of God. When there are manifold gods, you yourself is a god. So if you're a god, he a god, they gods, the seen and unseen are gods, the ancestors are gods. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking about? I'm just believing God gonna do which one? Because the God that you might have in your mindset to believe as God might be the ancestor of your adversaries, because they made their ancestors gods too. Hence Jesus. This is how he got there. Because they took their ancestor and deified him. So who are you talking about? The mother, the womb, the all wants us to refrain from grouping her in with gods. She is the mother of the gods. She is the all in all. Now, why is it so imperative for us to acknowledge her as a feminine energy? Because I've also been hearing that, the all is not feminine or masculine. It's both, and it's this. And the all is everything. But make no mistake. She is a feminine energy. Why is that important? Because her femininity is the reason why they have attempted to wash her out of history and demonize her this whole time. We can't get over here now that we have woke up and want to just be like, oh, it's just this and it's just that. We have to give her back. Her femininity is the reason why patriarchy exists, because masculine energies hate the fact that they can't create, they can't birth. They are dependent upon the womb. They have no womb. They have a stomach. They have no womb to bear anything. They must have a woman if they want to bring forth. Why do you think so many men who are successful, when they tell the truth, when they really tell the truth, they'll tell you, I didn't really get to my highest point of my success until I got me a good woman. Why do you think the saying that behind every good man is a good woman, where do you think that comes from? So patriarchy exists on the principle of jealousy, envy, and hatred for femininity. So we can't get over here on this awakened side as goddesses and not have a fervent passion to establish femininity, divine feminine as the headship. It's out of order. As long as this is out of order, the world will remain in chaos. Because the children are running things. The children is running shit. The mother who gives birth to the children is oppressed, suppressed, depressed, and every other kind of pressed. So as we wake up, as we with titties and breasts and vagina, as we wake up, it is a part of the order for us to establish order. You can't shy away from the feminine. You can't shy away from wanting to call the all feminine mother she, not them, not it. Because the reason why all of this exists, the whole of the universe, the realms, the dimensions, the other universes, like the reason why it exists is because a feminine womb wanted to give birth and make order out of her chaos. In doing so, it established rank and file. That is order. There is a great father, a masculine that belongs to the mother, but he is not her. He is codependent upon her like everything else is, and functions in his rank. When you are talking about the Most High, it needs to be said, and I'm saying it, that it is indeed a feminine energy that gives birth to masculine and other feminine. And through her manifold feminine wombs of creation, she manifests the masculine energy, which is what the physical realm is. The physical realm is her masculine. Okay? In our inner world, within us, she births the sun. He shows up as a reflection of above within us in the microcosm of the macrocosm. He shows up as the divine light that we are all after. The sacred sun sunson. It's the same thing. It is a source of light, which is a source of consciousness. So what we are all after is the consciousness. That is when we now have a balance between our feminine and our masculine within. You understanding? But make no mistake, all of that has to be done through the womb of creation, which is the divine mother. And her masculine energy helps and assists you in that. That's where your other gods and stuff come in, and your other goddess energy. That's where that comes in. So she is kind of wanting more from the heart of her daughters. From the heart. She wants intimate conversation, not spells. They have their place, because as you being a goddess, you are, as a reflection of her, working to bring about order in your own individual life as a goddess. So that has its place, but you must have a space, an allotment, a time for just an intimate conversation with your mother. She's telling me, and has been telling me for weeks, that we are being taught and inundated with rituals, and so we are ritual heavy. And rituals is the precursor to religion. So a lot of us have woken and come out of established organized religions, but we have brought that same energy over here into the spirituality that we are now claiming, and we have ritualized it or religified it, if that's even a word, honey. You know what I'm trying to say. When the part that we should have taken from particularly Christianity, because all through Christianity, it still points you to the truth, which is the mother is after the heart space. So as the entity that they erected in her place wanted our hearts. Remember? Remember, he wanted your heart too. He wanted your offering from the heart. He wanted because the heart space is where the relationship is built. It's there where the blood flows. It's there where, so this is the whole blood thing that they do in Christianity. It is how do I say it, Spirit? They're so heavy on the blood in Christianity because if they can vampirically suck the blood from you, if they can get you to offer your blood as a sacrifice to an entity, then they have you in a covenant. But you're in the covenant with you're in a covenant with, you're in a false covenant. You're in a covenant based on trickery. Because your blood belongs honestly to the blood of your ancestors. This is ancestral. This is more than ancestral. I mean, like your being and the blood that flows through you belongs to someone else who is indeed the Most High. So we've been put under these covenants of trickery. And the only way to make a covenant binding is through blood. So the reason why the entity that a lot of the Christian doctrine, not the scriptures, but the doctrine, Now they put some trickery in the scriptures too. You just have to have your eye open to be able to see it. And I'm not going to go into that. But a lot of the Bible still points you to have a heartfelt reverence for that entity, because that's how you go into covenant, and you're in a covenant with an entity. Now that we on this side, we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The mother wants the heart space too, because she indeed deserves it. She is your creator. So now that we've come through the deception, now that we're experiencing a certain evolution, we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We can't just ritualize everything and waste beads and crystals and Palo Santo and just ritualizing. That has its place. And she is not saying we should not be disciplined in that. She's just saying she wants us now to balance it and go back into an energy of admiration, reverence, worship, prayer, crying out, crying loud, the wailing woman. You understand? Because a lot of things that we are toiling with over and over and over every week, we got to do a candle spill and we got to do this, because it's like we're going about it in a very mundane way, forgetting, neglecting that, wait a minute, I am connected to somebody much stronger than me, much stronger than anything. I am connected to the great nurturer. I am connected to the source of love. Maybe I could get a better understanding of what love really is if I go in love, if I go in as a child to its mother. If I worship her for all that is, because the fact of the matter, had she not wanted to idealize herself, none of this would exist. And it ain't all good, but it ain't all bad. Because we are a reflection of her, because we are an emanation of her, we independently get to idealize ourselves as an individual power source. We independently get to evolve. We independently get to win battles as we idealize and come into the knowledge of who we are as divinity. None of this would exist. What we're working towards is to have access to the higher rank. Remember, rank and file. Right? Like, you wouldn't even have a chance to grow had she not wanted to realize who she was as the womb of all things, where all things existed but was in chaos. Had she not wanted to bring forth, then none of us would be here. Good or bad. We would still just be a blob floating in nothingness. If that doesn't remind you that there is a higher source that deserves to be loved on. You want her to love on you, provide for you, help you with your, like, y'all, you know, but she doesn't deserve to be loved on, to be honored through relationship, through conversation, not just ritual. There's a scripture where Jesus was saying that in the last days, many will come and say, did I not? And I don't think it says in the last days. I think he talking about after folks cross over during judgment or whatever the case may be, when he's supposed to have came back or whatever. But there's still to be understood a spiritual principle and a law there. Okay, you got to get past. It's trick. It's not easy. But when it comes to reading the Bible, you have to get past the surfacial. Okay, because like I was telling a friend of mine, the hard part about understanding that Bible is a couple things. First, you got to separate the Bible from Christianity. The doctrine. The doctrine is that which is taught over the pulpit or the podium, the mouth, out of the mouth of the preacher. You got to separate, because most of them don't. Most of them know their Bible and they know they're liars. But a lot of us preachers don't really know their Bible. They just regurgitating what we was told from antiquity. They just putting a little spin on it, putting a little and that's that. Okay, they don't really know it. So you have to separate the scripture from what you have learned in church. That's the first thing. Okay. Secondly, you have to be able to read it and read past the mundane, because they put the truth in the mouth of a liar, if that even makes sense. Okay. They hid the truth within their false whole ancestral connection, because Jesus is one of their ancestors historically. If they want to dig up Jesus, they can just go dig up Josephus and you will find Jesus, because that's who he was. Now, that's historically. Now, what's being said out of the mouth of Jesus is esoteric. What is being said out of the mouth of every character in the Bible is esoteric. So as soon as you get past the Jesus and you block that out, you can just get to the meat. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just get to the meat. So what he was saying was that many will stand before me and say, Lord, have we not prophesied, cast out demons? Did we not lay hands on the sick in your name? And he said that he will tell them, depart from me, I do not know you. Huh? He don't know them. They did all of that in his name, and he don't know them. Okay? Now, the understanding of that on the esoteric side is, again, ritual is not relationship. Workings of spiritual power is not relationship. The truth of what's coming through the mouth of a made-up character named Jesus, the truth belongs to that of the son of the mother. Just because you are working spells and spell casting and you know about the elements and the crystals and what root do what and what to do with this and how to do that and how to get your lover to come back and how to take that woman's husband because you want him and you don't want her to have him, and you know how to do all that, and you know, just because you know how to work spirituality, the Son is revealing through the mouth of Jesus that the Christ, the Christos, the consciousness of the mother, the son of the mother, he don't know you. He don't know you. See, they put the esoteric understanding of the enlightened masculine of the mother, the son, the illuminated one. They put his consciousness and his words in the mouth of their made up ancestral deified character. So you got to be able to separate what's being said from who's saying it. We could be the best witches and still find ourselves reincarnated and back down here in another lifetime. So basically you'll be busting hell wide back open. You got to do it again. Because you understand spell casting. But you have no relationship with the Christ, with the enlightened one. You have no relationship with the mother. You have head knowledge and mundane spell casting, and you might be very good at that. Kudos to you. But the mother wants us to reestablish from the heart space so that we can re-erect the temples that were torn down. We can retrieve information that we once, when we were here before, we itemized, we wrote it down, we scribed it, and then they came and they burned it all up. I feel wholeheartedly that all of the burning of the books, all of the destruction of the tablets, all of that, all of those books, all of that information, they destroyed everything that pointed man back to the mother. They destroyed that. And anything that put the patriarchy in the forefront, that put the masculine in the forefront, they allowed to be kept. The shit that's hidden in their museums that they don't want to let us get to is about the mother. It's about the power of femininity. And that femininity is the headship. But they're so hell-bent, and have been hell-bent for millennials now, on making sure that they maintain a certain control. That they don't want to give no real access. They'll let a little bit out. But it's going to take individuals, goddesses like us, myself, that actually has an intimate relationship and communicates with the Most High, as well as the deified ancestors, the goddesses and the gods. Like, you have a relationship with them. If you are in relationship with the right ones, they should make this clear to you. But she is not a it. She is a she. Let's get that clear. She is a she with a womb upon which we all exist in. She is a feminine energy. Read your book of Revelations, 12th chapter. Go to Galatians 4:22 through 28. Because they make it clear even in your Bible. While they point you to their entity that they erected, they still hide it in there, but you can't see it because you're so busy praying to an entity who is like dropping drop blessings down to you to keep you further confused. Also, you can die. Also, you can transpire, transition, and still be trapped under the firmament where it exists, because it doesn't exist in the dark matter of the Most High. It exists in the firmament. So he'll drop you down a nice little house, a good little husband. You got 2-3 kids. He'll drop you down a nice little career. Oh, you praying, you begging, you in blood covenant. He'll drop you down, a little money, a little change and everything. So you can go ahead and hit that last little, going back to the dust. All up under a covenant with him. And you won't go no further than the firmament, and you're going to reincarnate your ass back down here in hell. It's recycling of souls. So yeah. God, you call on God the Father, he gonna, here's a nice little Mercedes for you and a nice little career, and we're gonna make sure you straight. Cause he don't care about this the money and stuff. He'll give you that. Didn't he tell Jesus that on the damn mountain? Didn't he tell Jesus that on the mountain? I'll give you the kingdom. You bow down and worship me. Same thing. The esoteric is that most of y'all, The Satan, Jesus was in a communication with God the Father on that mountain. He was in communication with God the Father on that mountain. An entity. He refused him. Because the hidden energy of Jesus that they hide in the scripture is that he knew full well that he belonged to the mother. He only had a mother. That's all he had. He didn't have no father. So there's a whole lot of mixing up of the energies right there to confuse you. To confuse you. And then who they put it in the mouth of is a whole nother confusion. The mother is the mother. She is the mother of us all. Her son is the consciousness of her. The consciousness of her. The son is coming into that consciousness that she is the mother of us all and should be revered as so. And if you are in relationship with her true son, her true divine masculine, the great son, if you are in relationship, he will make sure that you have a clear understanding of that. The masculine is dependent upon the feminine. They are not equal, and yet equal. You got to understand that balance. You have to know how to differentiate and put these energies in rank and file, because that's her whole purpose for this, is to bring order to her chaos. And if we're going to assist her in doing that, as we should be, then we must first understand that order within ourselves as the immediate reflection of her. So, I empower you, if you are a goddess energy, a melanated, non-melanated, divine feminine energy, and you have no heart space, you don't allot any time for just relating, just crying out, just praying, just talking, just laughing, just dancing, just singing, which is worship. Okay? And you don't have to know how to sing. Just admonishing, lifting up. Lifting up. Okay? If you don't have any space allotted, make time. Get to know that side of her. Get to know that side of her. You're going to love it there. I promise you. I promise you. Be her daughter. We ain't got to always be coming in bogarting and, all in our divinity all the motherfucking time. We have gone through a lot as feminine energies over millennials in past lives. She has gone through a lot to make order of this. And sometimes in making order, there's suffering. But she is the great healer to heal. She is the balm of Gilead. She is the great healing source, the nurturing source. All right? So don't throw the baby out. If you're coming out of Christianity into your spiritual evolution, in the beginning, you're going to want to throw everything out when you realize how deceived you've been. That's natural. That's normal. But you're going to reach a point where you're going to be able to cherry pick, okay, that's needed. That was needed. And some of us who are more seasoned, like myself, You're at that season, and I need you to hear the mother speak through me right now. She wants a relationship. She wants you to settle it in your spirit that she is the all. Don't let these people on TikTok and social media and shit confuse you, nor let them downplay what's the truth, because that's the whole energy that we're coming out of, the downplaying, the suppression, the oppression, the depression of the mother of all things. So we can't get over here and be playing in that energy. We got to draw a line. No, it ain't no them. It ain't no, God is neither male nor female. I don't know what God is, but the all of creation is a womb. It's a woman. Not a woman, but it's a feminine energy who gives birth to masculinity. Make no mistake. Okay? We the ones. We're the ones. We're the ones. You got breasts. You grew them yourself. You have feminine organs. You have a womb and you grew it yourself. You have a vagina and you grew it yourself. You got to step into your rank, your leadership. Remind them of who the fuck is running this shit. Don't let them slide with that old, it ain't God, ain't even. She ain't God, nigga, so who are you talking to? Excuse me. I got to, because I'm not talking to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right? Remind them. Don't let them slide with that group of her in like she just some afterthought. Or we'll be dragging that same patriarchal energy into this new age. But she is not going to let it be so. She is not going to let it be so. And any energies, male or female, that don't want to get in, you will eliminate yourself. You will eliminate yourself because you're unwilling to learn how to repair the breach. That's the job of the feminine. Repair that which is broken down. We will eventually move into repairing her temples, putting up new temples. I know that's in my vision. Where we don't shy away from all that is accessible to us. We don't shy away from sensuality. We don't shy away from our femininity. We support each other. This is the empowerment for us as divine feminines. Empower you to restore, to go retrieve the baby that you threw out with the bath water. Go retrieve it. You need it. You need the baby. You don't need the bath water. You need the baby. Nurture your relationship from the heart space with your mother. Most of us, she's been tracking, especially in this lifetime, because we were the ones that needed to wake up. So if you think about your childhood, you can remember times where things were just like you couldn't make no sense of it then. But as you study, you be like, oh, that's what that was I saw when I was. She's been tracking most of us, and I'll get on here and share with you how I come to realize she was tracking me. For one, she told me, like, I've been with you the whole time. I love you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share, notification bell. All right? And I hope that I said something I know that I said something that's going to really empower you. Open your heart, your ears. As an oracle, we are anointed to speak on behalf of the mother. This is why, they broke down all of that and tore up and got rid of the oracle energy and started calling it prophets. And then you had masculine prophets and stuff, and all of that. And they want to act like, I don't know. It's a lot, but just hear what the spirit, the great Aliyah, is saying. And we'll get into the Aliyah and who that and what that is. So, yeah. All right. Peace, goddesses. Y'all stay up. Be good. Okay? Be good. And if you're being bad, be good at being bad. I don't know what to tell you. All right? Peace.